Well, hello there. It is Friday and it's TGIF, but it's also Face the Scale Day for me. Yeah, so I did face the scale this morning, and I bet you're looking forward to hearing what that scale might have said. Do you think it was good to me? Do you think it wasn't so good to me? Do you think that I evened out? Well, let me tell you. I looked back from last week to this week, and amazing to me, I lost 0.6. How did that even happen? Not really so sure. Was I perfect this week? No. Was I really, I don't want to say bad. I don't like bad. I never strive to be perfect. I don't think that's a good idea ever. I do strive to do well and to feel happy with how I've handled food this week. But overall, I think it was a pretty good week. I have not been eating as much as I am driving. I used to. You've probably noticed my shorts. I've decided that I'm going to, that was my son passing. Yeah, we are ships in the night, him and I. I'm leaving his house now. I've been here for the afternoon with Cora, and I don't know why I have these glasses on. I really don't need them on right now. I don't like glare in my eyes. I have driving glasses that I really love. They're yellow for the nighttime, but right now it's not glaring. So anyway, what was I about to say? It's very easy for me to get distracted. I apologize. So, oh yes, facing the scale, the dreaded scale. I really don't like the scale. In fact, this week in my Zoom meeting with Zoe and the weight loss company group, I love that group. It feels good to be back with them, by the way. Someone brought up a point of not only about the scale. She's not currently weighing, and I can say that I don't know in my case if that would be a very good idea right now. I think once I get back to maintenance, it might not be bad to I don't know, focus so much on the scale as what I usually do, because I do weigh every day, and it's not that I'm obsessive about it. It's just that was what I was taught several years ago, and that's pretty much what I just do. It's like an automatic thing. I don't like the idea of weigh day 1 day a week. That I have to tell you, because one day the next I could be showing that I am this specific weight, and then the weigh day weight I could be 2 pounds heavier, and I know I'm really not, but I do have to be honest and report whatever that scale says for that given day, because it is the day I've chosen to make a video about my weight for you. And so that kind of annoys me sometimes. I get annoyed with myself, and I get annoyed with the scale, but I don't dwell on it. That's what weighing every day allows me to do, or I should say, or not do. I don't dwell, because I know what my body's doing every day of the week. And so if it happens to be on a Friday that this weight shows up, but yet for the last 2 days, or at least twice over this week, I've seen a lower number, I pretty much know that the number that I get on Friday isn't really accurate, but it is the one that I tell you about. So anyway, yeah, so talking about the meeting, what someone brought up in the meeting regarding the scale and how she is feeling much better not getting on that scale, I guess weekly, in terms of, okay, this is my week, this is what I lost or gained this week. It's helping her. And also she talks a lot about not being on doing calorie counting as compared to having been on other plans. I'm not going to name a plan specifically, just in general, where you have lists or you have ways of calculating what you're supposed to eat every day and all that, and how she's not missing that. But some of what I tuned into and felt the same about when she said it was that she's still not feeling totally free. Excuse me, I'm supposed to take my medicine now. I had an alarm coming on, that's why I touched the screen. So anyway, And I'm kind of feeling the same, because I'm not just eating what I feel like eating. I'm still feeling the need to stay away from certain things, and it's not because it's my decision. If I make a decision not to have something because that's what I've decided, it's one thing. But because I'm still in the realm of being in a weight loss plan where these things are being decided for me, so to speak. I'm not talking about when I try to do anything from Dr. Greger or Dr. Lee or Dr. Funk. I don't remember if I'm pronouncing her name correctly. I've talked about these 3 doctors before and how I like to follow them. There is stuff going on here. Oh, Lord, Lord, Lord. There is police trying to get through here, and I am not moving, and I almost got hit because they have to get through, and we have to oblige by our traffic law and stop what we're doing and let them through, even though they're going to be going through in front of me, crossing over. Look at what these people are doing. People are nuts. These people need to go. We need fire police here is what we need. Oh my goodness. Of all times for this to be happening while I'm driving and talking to you. You can hear it. I apologize. Let me get myself through this and I'll be back on. They seem to be having to go southbound on 9 here. Let me go. I'll be back. Well, that was intense. The fire truck just came through on the wrong side of the road because that's what they have to do to get through. This is just on this particular road, 1 lane each way, and this is the lane they were coming from. Anyway, so back to what we were talking about. Yes, Face the Scale Friday. So this coming week on Thursday will be our Thanksgiving here in the U.S. and Friday is weigh day. So I'm thinking that I may do a weigh-in on Wednesday. I don't know. I probably should just go to weigh-in Wednesday, because Wednesday is when I have the weight loss company meeting, and it might just be better to do it that way, because they do like us to report in what our weight is. And I haven't been doing that because my weigh day is Friday and then I forget. I don't know. I have to think about that one. This would be a good week to do that, though, as I'm thinking about it and talking about it with you, because if I'm going to weigh Wednesday, I'll just take whatever the number is and record it and leave it at that. It may be more than what I am today. It may not. I don't really know. My weight fluctuates so much every day, as most people's weight does. I have no idea. I could be up 2 pounds on this coming Wednesday from what I am today. But maybe I will do that. I'm going to have to think about it. But either way, if it makes sense for me to make a video, I will. If it doesn't, then I won't, and we'll just leave it to a week from Friday, which will meet 2 weeks from today, that I will report my weigh-in and leave it at that. But I think that in thinking about what this woman was speaking about, the issues that she still feels she has, having been on traditional, or some of the traditional that we all know about, and either love or hate or somewhere in between, kind of like put you in a mindset where, because I find myself doing that, like in previous, whatever app I was tracking on, if I was going to be like, let's say, going over a certain number or a certain amount of something that is allowed on that plan, that's not, I hate the word free food, or zero count food, or 0 point food, or free in protein, and you know, all those names that they call food when they're not calling it calories. And you're choosing from those lists, or you're supposed to be, as opposed to the things that you have to track, let's say. I still find myself being hesitant, and I feel like I'm cheating. In my mind's eye, like without really even being aware of it so much, I tend to, if I'm going to eat that, then it's not going to be what I should be eating. And so rather than tracking it, I might decide, you know, like I'm only fooling myself, but I'm not feeling comfortable tracking it is really what I'm trying to say. Because underneath it all, I'm feeling like I'm not supposed to be eating it. And because my calorie count, by comparison to a lot of other people, is quite low. So I don't get a lot of room to play with. Like if I want to start eating Snickers bars, like that really isn't going to work for me. I have an alternative. I have protein bars that I can eat, and they're delicious to me anyway, and they're nutritious by comparison to a lot of other things I could be eating. But let's say I wanted a Snickers bar. I would be so uncomfortable with actually just taking that and tracking it because of this ingrained issue that I have with food from so much dieting. It's from doing all sorts of plans over the years, and believe me, I've done many, as opposed to just straight calorie counting. And so now I have to kind of like desensitize myself to all that, or decondition myself, because I am so hypersensitive to it still. Even though I know that it's fine to track whatever it is that I'm eating. Like, for instance, if I wanted to go with James to McDonald's, let's say, and I wanted to have a kid's meal and track it, like, that's absurd, unheard of to me. That's alien to me. I've come so far away from feeling okay with that kind of food that I would rather not track it and just say I screwed up my whole day, which is a really bad thing for most of us, because if you don't track it and then you think you trashed your day, that's probably not going to lead to such good things for the rest of your day, which could carry into the next day or 2 or 3 or 7 days and then some, and that really isn't good, for obvious reasons. That's like derailing yourself. So I really would like to get away from that mindset, whatever you want to call it, that I still have, and just get back to basics of this is what I want to have now, for better or worse. I'm having it, track it, and move on, and that is okay. If it's not my choice, if it's going to be my choice to have it, it is okay, and I need to be okay with that. And I think that's probably still giving me a lot of issues, and I don't know how long it's going to be before I get, because the sooner I can get that mindset, get away from that mindset, the better off I will be in the long run with maintaining my weight loss. Because thinking back to April, when I started trashing things, a lot of it had to do with that. If I would have just said, okay, I'm having this 600 calorie muffin and I'm going to stick it in here and track it and deal with it and own it, I was like, oh no, you're bad, you're just off plan, and now, okay, so since I did this today, I may as well do the whole day. And that is how I got to where I needed to go from losing 2 pounds to losing 5 to 7 to then now, it went up to almost 15 pounds, which is absurd. That is just absurd to me, what I did to myself. After all the work, the good work that I did, when I started calorie counting again, why I veered away from that. But anyway, I just learned from it and I move on. So that is going to do it for today, I guess, in our chat. I don't really know of anything else that I wanted to talk about, other than I think it's important to be in a healthy mindset with your food, with food in general. It is really important, and I feel like I have to backtrack now, and I just have to deal with it, and I have to keep reminding myself that if I want to have a bag of chips, it is not a sin to have that bag of chips, literally an SIN sin, and that if I've decided and made that decision as an adult in good conscience that I want to have that, it is okay for me to have that and move on. It is not ideally how I want to be eating. Obviously, I keep talking about whole foods, more plant-based. Yeah, but I think I'll never get to be able to even get close to that until I get rid of these issues that I have with all the food that I eat, or any of the food that we might have available to eat, that I might decide I want to have. Once I get over this is when it is going to kind of give me more freedom to make better choices. I think that it's too black and white the other way, and that is how I get myself into a lot of trouble and make myself feel bad, and then that nasty vicious cycle begins, and nothing good comes of that for me. And I don't think if that's what you go through, please let me know in comments. I'd love to hear how you might feel about all of this, if you've thought about it in this way, because this woman really, what she said really resonated with me, and I'm really happy that she shared that in group, because that wasn't what we were really talking about, even though we were talking about eating candy. But Not that we should not eat candy. Candy, just goodies for the holidays was part of the topic we talked about. And I guess that that's what led her to talk about how these food lists that we try to live with in other plans just kind of like could backfire. And I think that for me, that is exactly what happened. And now I have to undo that, as she said she's trying to do. And that's a process, and it's going to probably take some time. I don't know. But I'm interested to know what you think about that, if you wouldn't mind sharing. So yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this week. I hope that you will do something good for yourself. It is very important that you take good care of yourself. You're the only one that can do that. I can be supportive to you. Your group can be supportive to you. Your plan can be supportive to you and what it offers you. But ultimately, you are the person deciding, and I am the person deciding what I put in my mouth every day. You know, we can make better choices. We can make good choices. We can make choices that are too high in calories and throw us over if we don't plan them into our day. And we can do that, but again, we have to do that for ourselves. You know, nobody's going to come along and hold our hand. Nobody's going to look over our shoulder. We know what we've eaten or what we plan to eat. And I'm not saying this is easy. It's definitely not easy. It's hardly not easy. But it can be done. You just have to decide, and then you have to follow through. You know, you can go one plan to another plan to another plan and switch plans back and forth as many times as you'd like. I've done it. But ultimately, it's not about the plan. It is about whether the plan is the right one for you. If you can commit to that plan and sustain your weight loss and live with the plan that you've chosen, all those questions have to be answered. Only can be answered by the individual person for what's best for them. But in the end of the day, it all revolves around the food that we put in our mouth and the choices that we make about what we're going to do, put in our mouth. It doesn't matter what plan you're on. You have to make those choices, those hard choices. And some days are going to be really rough, and other days hopefully won't be as rough. But we're in this for the long haul, okay? It is what it is. We have to first accept it, acknowledge it, accept it, and then figure out how we're going to, I don't want to call it resolve it, but how we're going to deal with it in a way that is livable for us. We have to be able to find our own way. And that takes work. It all takes work, okay? What I do, or what I like to do, is on moments that I'm feeling sorry for myself, and believe me, I have a lot of those moments, is to look at other people and look at what their issues are in their life, because nobody gets away with not having issues in their life. Everybody's got issues. We may never see them. We may look at them in person and say, oh, they're so lucky, but we don't really know what they're dealing with in their life. Maybe they're not so lucky. Maybe they're just lucky to be thin, but that doesn't mean that they wouldn't trade that off to be dealing with the situation that we're dealing with as people who gain weight easily and deal with obesity and all of that. Maybe they would go to the market and they would choose our problems any day of the week compared to what they are going home to. You know, we don't know. So sometimes it's really evident what people are going through. You can see it. And even you don't even have to know them to know. Like, I see this man who's barely able to walk at the end of the entrance of the exit from the bridge here that I'm about to go across. And I see him every day. And I don't understand why he's out here. He's a veteran. He should be able to be helped, whatever his issues are. And yet he's out here every day panhandling. And it breaks my heart. I've given him food. I've given him extra change. It's baffling to me. And there are many people like him in the world. There are many people worse off than him in the world. Believe that or not, but it is true, and I'm sure you're aware. So I try to keep those kind of people in my mind, to be trying to live my life in gratefulness, which I think is really important, and it's not easy to do that either. But it does help when I am able to have those moments of living in gratefulness. It does help get me through. So I don't know if you want to call that crazy. I don't think it's crazy. I've practiced it for a while, a long while now. I have to move over here, crossing the bridge. I can't show you this because I don't have the right kind of apparatus to be able to do that. I discovered on my way this morning trying to see if I could show the bridge and the Hudson River. Anyway, so I'm going to let you go now. I've been rambling and rambling, but keep all these things in mind. You know, it's important to take care of yourself. Your family needs you. Your children need you. Your husband or wife needs you. Your parents may need you if you're a caregiver. Even if you're not, your family needs you. And I'd hate to think of what life would be without you in it. And worse, what if something really bad happened to you that didn't involve dying, that you'd never be able to come back from in your health? I'm sorry this thing is shaking here. What if that happened to you? How horrible that would be for your family and for you. So yeah, do at least one thing a day that's special for you, however little it may be, and build on that until you get to a point of where you really are on a consistent journey to getting healthy. That is my suggestion to everyone, and that is what I try to do every day.